Hello everyone. So today we'll be talking about the nurture-nature interaction. When we talk about the nurture-nature interaction, what comes to our mind? Nature, biological factors, nurture, environmental factors. Now, what is nurture-nature interaction? This refers to the ideas that human behaviors, personalities, and intelligence are being shaped by both the combined influence of the gene and environment. So today, our main discussion is, are criminals born or made?
I stand on the ideology that says criminals are made and not born. Have you ever seen a newborn baby that walks immediately after birth or talk immediately after birth? Why do we say family, school, peer group and mass media is one of the major forms of socialization? Because whatever a child sees affects the way of the child. Even the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. First of all, parental upbringing and neglect can cause a child to turn to criminal. When your parents are no longer available for you emotionally, physically, and mentally, you don't know what you want to do because you're still a growing child. Then you begin to associate with peer groups that influences you to do the wrong thing. That's why there's every tendency that when your friends start smoking, you will start smoking too. The Bible also made us to understand, can two work together unless they agree? No. There are lots of facts that prove that your environment influences you. Imagine a child born in the slums, wake up every day to crime, go to bed every day to crime. It's now a way of life, and to them it's a normal thing to do. So tell me why they will not grow up to be criminals. Nobody is born to be a doctor or whatever the person is. The person is made to be that thing. So I hope with a few points of mine, I've been able to convince you that criminals are made and not born. Thank you.
Hello guys, standing on the ideology which states that criminals are born not made. Some certain genetic research have stated that some genetic traits can be inherited, like impulsivity or aggression. Temperance difference can make individuals prone to risk-taking, and this ideology was promoted by Cesar Lombroso, which stated that criminals are born with biological traits which make them different.
Criminals are made, not born. I'll be focusing on psychological and personality factors. Traits like impulsivity, aggression, or poor understanding of consequences can increase risk of criminal behavior. Trauma or mental disorders may make someone more vulnerable, although these don't cause crime, but stressful environments and opportunities interact with personality to increase risk of criminal behavior. Think of it as vulnerable personality plus risky environment equals higher chance of criminal behavior. Thank you.
I hope you guys have been convinced that criminals are born and criminals are also made. So our second discussion for today is intelligence learned or inherited? Stay tuned.
I stand with the ideology that intelligence is learned and not inherited. Intelligence is not a fixed gift given at birth. It's a capacity that grows, develops, and strengthens through experience, learning, and environment. First of all, what is intelligence? Intelligence refers to problem-solving abilities, reasoning, memory, learning speed, adaptability. It is not just IQ, it's the ability to learn from experience and adapt. And if intelligence involves learning, then environment must matter. Now, from a psychobiological perspective, the brain is plastic. The brain changes structurally and functionally based on education, practice, exposure, stimulation, and social interaction. Neutral connections strengthen when used. Unused pathways weaken. So intelligence grows when the brain is stimulated. Now, environmental factors that shape intelligence. We have education. Children exposed to good schools, reading materials, academic support, perform better intellectually than children deprived of education. For example, studies show that children adopted from deprived orphanage into enriched homes shows large IQ increase. Shows their large IQ increase. Let me use that word, sorry. Okay, that means intelligence improves due to the environment. Another thing, parenting style. Supportive, responsive parenting. When there's it encourages curiosity. When your parents are involved in your life, it builds language skills, develop reasoning ability, and then in a harsh and neglectful environment, it can impair cognitive development because of stress, to increase your stress hormones like cortisol, and then to damage learning capacity. Stress literally affects brain areas like hippocampus, important for memory. Now, another thing, nutrition. Malnutrition in early childhood can reduce brain development, affect memory and attention, and lowers cognitive performance. Proper nutrition enhances cognitive growth, so intelligence is influenced by physical environment. So, okay, while intelligence is, of course, it can be genetics. Genetics can, let me say, it can increase the potential, but intelligence is not something we are just simply born with. As much as genetics increase the potential, it is a dynamic ability shaped and refined through learning, experience, and environment. Without nurture, even the least genetic potential may never fully develop. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. So I stand with the ideology that intelligence is inherited and not learned. Many psychologists believe that intelligence is partially inherited. That means we receive most of our intellectual abilities from our parents through the genes. Research on twins shows that identical twins may often have similar IQ level even when they grow in different environments. This suggests that genetics plays an important role in intelligence. However, intelligence is not only determined by genes alone. The environment also influences how intelligent a person becomes. For example, good education, proper nutrition, supportive parenting, and access to learning materials can help develop a person's intellectual potentials. On the other hand, poor nutrition, lack of schooling, and stressful living conditions may limit intellectual development, even if a person has high genetic potential. Therefore, intelligence is the result of both nature and nurture working together. In conclusion, intelligence is partially inherited.
All this being said, we know that nature and nurture do not work alone, but they interact continuously. The genetics may give a person potential, but the environment determines how